We keep hearing South Africa should be playing aggressive, smart cricket. But is it actually aggressive and sloppy? Attacking and sloppy? Is that what we're seeing from South Africa? Now, as I'm speaking to you guys, the T20, the first T20 against Ireland, the first innings has just ended. South Africa scored 165 for 7. And once again, we saw a different top six selected, a different combination, a very top heavy selection as well, with a lot of opening batsmen selected right until top five, I think, top order batsmen right until top five. Another performance from Bavuma that was under par, another performance from Quinton de Kock that looked a little rushed. Another performance from Aiden Markram where he performed beautifully into the 30s and then lost his wicket. Another performance from David Miller, which saw him score a decent amount of runs, but then lose his wicket at a time that we really, really needed him to kick on. A poor performance from Yanaman Malan with a loose delivery. So a lot of sloppy performances over here to lose wickets with regards to intent. The intent for me, sometimes it's about finding the balance. You need to find the balance, and you need to know when to attack and when not to attack, and when to just play it easy and not. And I have to say, well done to KG Rabada. As someone says, that they've quoted my tweet, KG equals to Mr. 720. It's a little joke that I made, which I don't know, I think only I was laughing to. But ultimately, I think overall, we need to find ways to score runs. South Africa needs to find a way to score runs consistently over a period of time. If you're going to select a team and you're going to select a batting lineup of batters that are going to be top order batsmen, then you need to adjust your style according to that, of course. That's what needs to happen ultimately. But we're going to talk about all of this next on the show. So we're going to be talking about it a little bit more in depth. Are South Africa, is their current situation or their current approach attacking and sloppy rather than attacking and smart? That's what we're going to be speaking about on the show today. We've got Abai and Aditya that are going to be joining us. We're just waiting for Aditya to join us. And yeah, let's see what happens over this episode. If you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos as well. And let's get straight into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about all the things, major talking points in South African cricket. I'm here with my co-host Aditya and as well as Abai on the screen. We're not going to be talking specifically about the game because we are going to be doing a review show after this if my electricity comes back on, etc. Because we're having another outage again in the Claremont area that just went out while the game was on. So unfortunately, tricky situation here in Claremont and in Cape Town. But let's get into the topic. Aditya, this is something we've been speaking about for quite some time. South Africa being sloppy rather than smart, which is something that I think that we need to work on. We need to find ways on how to score runs. If you're going to pick a batsman that are top heavy, like I say, top order batsmen, and then they need to play according to what their style of play is. There's ways to score runs without being rash. And I think that today, none of our batsmen can say that they went out to good balls. I think all of the top six went out by giving their wicket away. So how do we go about doing this? How do we approach this? How do we find ways to score runs? If these are the best batsmen that South Africa have to offer and we don't have finishers that we're looking for, How do we approach it? I think one of the reasons, or one of the things that we can say, is running between the wickets.
Yeah, look, we're still talking about that one-dimensional approach that South Africa has in its batting, because there is a pattern to all of these dismissals, where they're struggling to score runs, they soak up dot balls, and then they play a rash release shot. Temba got out to a pretty rash shot. We can't say that. In is reverse sweeping really Temba's strength? Probably not. And like if the power play is why Temba's batting at the top, then he needs to capitalize on that a bit more. He can't be scoring 13 of 13. That simply doesn't work. And I'd say the same. Look at Aiden, for example. He was the top scorer today. He made 39. He's batting on 15 of 17, and he's your number four batsman. And the guy at number five, who should be playing at number four, Rassi, is under pressure to score quickly when that's not his game. So
Hmm.
I think South Africa got it wrong tactically, and their execution was poor as well. But uh, to me, what's to blame is really a one-dimensional approach to batting, and
Hmm.
it's simply not working for anyone in the team.
Yeah, and at this particular, and it doesn't matter whether we win the game or not. I think that at this particular stage, we want to see our batsmen really go for it and really take opportunities in scoring runs as best as possible. Now, I understand that certain wickets will maybe not allow you to play certain game plans, but then you will lose your wickets because of good bowling. But in this particular game, and in so many games that I've seen before, we don't lose our wickets to good bowling. We lose our wickets to poor shot selection at a specific time. For example, Bavuma's shot wasn't necessary right then. He started off while playing straight batted balls. He was playing through the gaps and he was getting boundaries like that and rotating the strike. There was no need to play a reverse sweep at that particular time of the innings, and he lost his wicket doing so. So that showed that it was a poor decision. Quinton de Kock, we know that's Quinton de Kock's game. He puts the foot on the acceleration, and he doesn't know how to combine that with a break, and he just keeps on going until he's out. That's generally what we know about him and how he goes when it comes to that. Prabada at the end, they're showing that you can get good boundaries, put pressure on, but playing good cricket shots. And this whole top six are those type of batsmen. They're not the swing and hope type of batsmen. They're not guys that swing and hope. They're guys that play good cricket shots. So Abai, is it possible with a top six like today? Because I strongly believe that this was possibly our best batting selection from one till six, with regards to the quality that we fielded, that we could field in this particular series. And in any of the series that we played in the past, I mean, everybody wants to see Yanaman. Everybody's favorites was batting in the top six today. People that everybody's been calling for, they fitted all of them in. They could have gotten a better score if they just approached it differently, don't you think?
But before I give my opinion, I just want to throw in a quick update. Ireland is 7 for 2 after 7 balls. So Kevin O'Brien just got out, cotton ball Rabada. Um, I think just as Aditya said, the approach has to be more dynamic, because I think we've kind of seen a trend aside from Quinton de Kock. Everyone seems to be wanting to play a few balls in a more circumspect manner before they finally start to go for it, and on many occasions that results in a rather rash shot or shot that didn't involve much thinking. For example, when Milan was out, the Proteas were 2 down, and I think that was a good time for Bavuma to stick the anchor in and see if he could bat through most of the innings. But he tried to get a little too cute with that reverse sweep, and that proved to be his undoing. So I think the roles for each player has to be more clearly defined, because if you're not sure how to go about it, that indecision could prove to be very costly, and that's what we saw today in this game.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's a tough situation when we don't have finishers to choose from. So I always say that if you don't have a lot of big hitters that you've identified already by at this time leading into a World Cup, Like, I mean, obviously, when you're preparing for the next one, you can start finding those guys and molding them for that. But like, because you don't have those type of guys, the approach should be different. Then maybe this mindless attacking, I call it, is what I'm seeing more than actually playing the smart game, like we've been said. Because the smart way is to look at who you have in the field and read the situation. With this particular setup, there was no need to play rash shots. If you have a lot of top order batsmen that you've selected, like for example, when Markram and Rassi were at the crease, you just needed one of them to just battle 15, and then start playing those shots to try and find the, the runs that we need, because ultimately you want them to bat a little bit more deeper. When you're losing quick wickets, the situation was okay, because we still got guys that are technically speaking top order batsmen and have opened the batting before, so they understand the situation. I don't think you need to change your approach at that particular stage. Play the situation, and we had the right batsman to be able to play the situation today. Miller had ample of time and to do so, and I see Bavuma's getting a lot of hate again, and I see that people are complaining about Bavuma once again. What are your thoughts on Bavuma, Aditya, and Abai?
Look, it's with poor string of scores, it's almost inevitable that Themba would get criticism.
Yeah.
That's part and parcel of the game. So
Yep.
he is the captain. There are no two ways about it. We have to accept that and hope that he performs. But in saying that, you're talking about finishers there. South Africa has finishers in David Miller and Dwayne Pretorius as soon as he comes in. But what South Africa really need is their top order to perform. David Miller's job is to convert a 160 to a 180 or 190. David Miller's job is not to get you to 160. And that to me is where the challenge is. Because look, I thought Quinton de Kock played pretty well for that 21 of 9. Striking at 222, that's great, exactly what you want in a power play. But it also means that if Quinton de Kock goes for 21, Themba needed to score at least 45 of like 30 balls. He can't be scoring 13 of 13, because that then puts pressure on the rest. If Themba had scored like 40 odd runs, then Aiden Markram and Rassi would be playing differently. So that's something that they sort of need to consider, because right now Enoch said yesterday that they've got like a bunch of selection headaches and they're trying to play different players in different positions. But when they have Faf back, they're going to have to slot him in. There's no question about it. He's desperately needed in this team.
Yeah.
So
and I'm on the same fence. I mean, I don't think he's been performing well, and he needs to improve that. He's going to get scrutiny. He needs to take that, suck it in, and just move on with it, because he's going to get scrutiny. It's undeniable that that's going to happen if you're not performing with the bat, because he has two roles. He has a role as a captain, which I think as a captain he's doing a pretty decent job. I mean, you have to also give him credit for the 2 wickets that were taken today, for him to have to be brave enough to open again with George and to open up with spinners again. Yes, the opposition did it, so you learn from that, but he had to make the decision. He could have went somewhere else. He could have done something completely different in South and off field from that. He could have went completely different. It's his decision to make. So he's made those decisions and it's worked. So there's a lot of things about his captaincy that I do think is great, but he needs to improve his batting. There's no doubt about it. I want to see the Themba Bavuma that we saw at the CSA T20 Challenge and at so many tournaments, T20 tournaments before, when he was really in amazing form. But I want him to also think about it. He doesn't have to play that expansive slogging role. He doesn't need to. Not when you have Quinton de Kock at the other end. It's about then at that particular point, it's about him batting deep, playing you can score runs. Amla did it. You can score runs by playing the ball on the ground. Faf du Plessis in the IPL doesn't necessarily score massive sixes all the time. a lot of his game plan is about finding the gaps and exploiting the power play by playing good cricket shots. And that's all Bavuma has to do. Like I said, no need for that reverse sweep. Abai, your take?
Well, let's see. If you're the captain of the side, it shouldn't be a surprise if expectations are much bigger on you, and as is the case with Bavuma right now. And if we look at his most recent innings, let's go back if we include this innings and the three before that. So 1, 7, 0, 13, and on three of those four occasions, he played a poor shot and got out, and unsurprisingly, the criticism is continuing to come. But the only way that the criticism is going to die down is when he performs. But at the same time, I think on the whole, fans need to be more open-minded because it's still very early days in his captaincy, and I think he has what it takes to improve. But with that being said, the cricket played in CSA T20 Challenge and then international cricket is a much bigger step up, and the adjustment process to that, at least for someone who's now in charge of the team, it has to happen in a relatively quicker space of time.
Yeah. So, guys, that's what we have to say about today. Obviously, we're going to do a review show after the game as well,
23
dependable
for
on how
2.
dependable on how this game obviously goes. So we're going to be speaking about that. Today's video was majority about the sloppy batting because I thought after the first innings, I mean, we can talk about the batting performance at least because we're going to be talking about the bowling performance after this. So as you can see, we're three down. So they're three down. So like, let's go back to the game. I want you guys to enjoy it, but we will be back again after the game is done to have a quick review of the entire match. Hopefully things stay good on my side with regards to electricity, etc. But thanks a lot, Aditya. Thanks a lot for bye. Enjoy the rest of the game, and we'll see you guys later. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again later with the review show. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the game.